This is Glenn Andrews of the Life Doctrines, and the Renegade Alpha Word of Wisdom this week is presidential. I'm not going to go into the election. That's what I would call water under the bridge. Like I said, I've been preparing before, I've been preparing during, and I'm preparing after. I learned something this week. Coming from where I come from, where my parents come from, we are soldiers, we are fighters, we are activists, we are go-getters, we are hustlers, we are grinders, and all that is in a good way. We're not the family that will turn the other cheek. Our motto would be, by any means necessary. You put your hand on me, I'm going to put my hand on you. We've never broken any laws. We followed the rules and the laws of the land. But as a human being, far and above being a descendant of Africa, I understand, like I talked previously, I'm well read. So I'm familiar with Charles Darwin, I'm familiar with Maslow, I'm familiar with the id and the ego and all the psychoanalytic stuff, and I've read history. I know the history of this country. I know the history of this world. I've studied humanities. I've studied anthropology. So as I sit here and just go over the last week, and as I'm getting ready to do some of the things I want to do from a business standpoint as well as family, and what I want to teach to young brothers out there, anybody, because I'll help anyone. You know, I've been blessed, like I've said before, I've been blessed, so I'll help anyone. However, anyone I'm going to help or I'll show assistance to is because they respect me. I chose the word presidential because I learned something last week. Throughout this whole debate and the discussions and really the last 8 years, how President Barack Obama should behave, should act as a president, as a man, as a this and a that, and everybody wants him to act a certain way. And something I saw last week when the new gentleman's getting ready to step into the office, had to go and meet this individual where he said all this stuff over the last 2, 3, 4, 8 years. He has to sit there and shake his hand and be given a tour of the White House and what he is getting ready to do in the future. The president, he could have handled it many different ways. But the thing he did was to remain professional and to remain presidential. And I took notes because there's a lot of times when I was younger, I'd straight go off. I'll just be clear with you. I'm not one to disrespect anyone or be impolite, but if you step to me the wrong way and step on my toes and you don't apologize, I'm coming with it. However, one of the greatest lessons my dad taught me and told me right around the time I was 20, 21 was, Glenn, I know you do all this workout stuff, you in good shape, you can take care of yourself, you know the boxing, you know the karate, you know all this stuff, but sometimes you're going to have to be the better man and walk away. At that time I didn't understand it, but over time I've come to understand that whole idea of knowing what I have, knowing who I am, knowing the power that I possess, knowing the intellect I possess, and knowing what I have to lose and gain if at a certain time I'm dealing with a particular individual and weighing those assets and liabilities in this conscious or unconscious decision I'm about to make in this next action I'm about to partake in. And right around then was probably the last time I had any kind of confrontation that was physical, because I took heed what my dad said, in that sometimes you have to think about what you have to lose, make a better decision. And if it doesn't insult your manhood, it doesn't keep you, if someone doesn't block your path and keep you from going where you want to go, if they haven't put their hands on you, you just gotta, let all that talking and let folks talk and do whatever, just let it go. Just let it go. You got bigger and better things to be focused on. And with that, here 30 years later, with all that is going on in the country and a lot of things that I see, it doesn't mean that I'm sitting here not prepared, because I'm prepared for anything. I'm just gonna keep it real. I am the Life Doctrines. That is who I am. My training has been through Morehouse and through parents who have gone through Jim Crow. And though they respect Martin Luther King, they have a Malcolm X type of mentality. Christians though, Baptist Christians at that. So having said that, the thing with President Obama being presidential, and this word just keeps sticking out to me, because in my interactions daily, I meet people, different races, different sexes, different religions, and I maintain my professionalism, I maintain my sense of dignity, and I'm always be respectful. And the reason being is because there are a lot of people who look up to me. I am a role model. I have had accomplishments. It's folks from Southeast San Diego, brothers who are in school in their freshman year at Morehouse, men who want to open up their own businesses, young men who are just getting married. I've now been married 19 years, going on to 20 years. I've gone to college and graduated, M.B.A, bachelor's, Six Sigma Lean Green Belt. My wife has gone to college. Now my son is in college, and hopefully in 2 years, my daughter will be going to college. So we, for whatever reason, with the blessings of the higher power, don't really fit into the narrative. I'm not special because of that, because all we've done is put in the work, put family first. But I come back to that word of being presidential, and one of the things I take from that, and I just got to give President Obama more credit for that particular day and this particular moment than anything he's done in the last 8 years, which he's done a whole bunch of things, is the fact that throughout all the insults, throughout all the ways they've tried to insult him, his wife, his family, his intellect, his everything about it, it's just been racist insults, and to dehumanize him, he has remained presidential. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that going forward. I'm going to use that as kind of a foundation or a type of a variable that I can add to the things that I'm trying to do as I move forward in my business endeavors, as I engage different individuals. I'm going to take what my dad told me. Sometimes you gotta walk away. Let it go. Don't let it get the best of you, because you have more to lose. But I'm also going to use what I saw and what I've seen, and what I've seen and what I saw in the president over the last 2 weeks, in him taking the high road and being presidential. So with that in mind, that is the Renegade, the Life Doctrines, Renegade Alpha Word of the Week, being presidential. So if you have any comments, click the subscribe button, comment. Keep it positive, keep it energized. That doesn't mean you're not going to be a man, you're not going to be a woman, you're not going to represent. But we have more to lose. Understand your assets. We got to be presidential. This is the Life Doctrines. Subscribe, comment, signing out.